Alright y'all, welcome back to another video on Cage IQ. So I've been looking at the landscape of the 170 division, and I know Islam has a fight coming up in August. He was supposed to fight on the White House card, but due to management issues, shall I say, should I even get into that? Because it's gonna annoy me if I start talking about the Ilya and the Islam situation. But that might be for another time.
Nope.
Me personally, I wouldn't take this level of disrespect.
I got called about 85 Islam. It was middle of the day. Islam was sleeping, and I was excited about it. And after that, I got called back. Said, "Never mind. It's fight's not gonna happen." Before even I talk with Islam, and what I know is so many ways to turn down a fight. I can say I'm gonna fight Francis Ngannou. Give me $50 million, right? I don't blame anyone for trying to make the most money they can, because I believe Ilya and Islam is the biggest fight the UFC can make. I think this fight should happen this year. But in a way, does Ilya really want it?
If King Kong can make 155, okay, bring this guy here. Doesn't matter.
Mate, shut the fuck up.
Long story short, he was supposed to fight on the White House card, Freedom 250, that's in June. But, Ali coming up with a million excuses. His hand's broken, he was sleeping, Ilya bought himself out of the fight asking for too much money. I don't know what to believe, but all I know is that someone on Islam's side is capping hard, because there's no way Ilya said no to this fight, because he doesn't have much to lose. If he moves up, he's fighting a 170 guy. Oh, he's bigger than me. Oh, he's this long reigning champion who hasn't lost in 8 years. Like, bro, he has so many excuses, but if Islam loses, you will never hear the end of it. Anyway, that fight's not happening. So he's gonna fight someone in the welterweight division in August. Now this is a long layoff, man. 9 months. 9 months is that's not good, bro. I don't like champions that are inactive, but at the end of the day, you're asking for a lot, especially in this day and age. For a champion to fight 2-3 times a year. He usually does it, but at 170 he has to be careful who he's fighting against, because the next 3 guys I'm gonna mention, potentially 4, the next 4 guys I'm gonna mention, yeah, he needs time to prepare for these guys, because 170 isn't a joke. It's not a joke, not at all. It's one of the best divisions. But yeah, he fights in August, but who is he fighting? Right now, I have 4 candidates, but there's really 3, because the other 2, if this doesn't even make sense, the other 2, which is gonna be 1, is the winner of JDM versus Carlos Prates. You never know. If someone doesn't take damage in that fight, which I highly think is unlikely, they could make a quick turnaround in August. But anyway, the 3 obvious contenders are Ian Gary, Michael Morales, and Kamaru Usman. I'm going to talk about how each of them would fare against Islam. Starting off with Ian Gary, who I think is the most deserving out of the 3. Ian Gary likes to keep his range. He loves using kicks. And in his last couple of fights, he's been using the oblique kick a lot. Against Bilal, against Shavkat, even against Carlos Prates a little bit. And yeah, he just uses the length of his legs to just snap it out there because he's fast. And it does damage. It does a lot of damage if you hit that knee the right way. Other than that, he throws a lot of straight kicks, teeps, front kicks to the head. He's a very dynamic kicker. And if you get too close to him, he will counter you. He will counter you. And he's very elusive, very evasive. Like, he's good at evading shots. Ever since, I don't know, what was that fight, Song Kenan, where he got caught with that left hook, he learned very fast. And that's one thing about Ian Gary. He's a very smart fighter. He adjusts very well. This will be a very tricky fight for Islam, man. It'll be a very tricky fight, because in terms of speed, Ian Gary has him. In terms of distance management, it's close, but again, I think Ian Gary has him. So how does Islam win this fight? Now, Ian Gary is predominantly in the orthodox stance, and Islam does pretty well against orthodox. He loves to throw that left roundhouse to the body. He likes to throw the inside leg kick here and there. Not as much, but he loves to condition his fighters to throw the left high kick, which Ian Gary will see coming. But other than that, Islam's boxing isn't bad. It's not bad, and I think the threat of the takedown will eventually give him an entry for the takedowns, because at the end of the day, Ian Gary isn't the most physically gifted welterweight, and Islam bulking up and needing extra time to bulk up is going to give him a lot of time to game plan, a lot of time to prepare. So I do see Islam winning this fight. Strength advantage is going to be a big thing. His technique when he's going to be in the clinch is going to be another thing. Very good in the clinch. He will be a lot stronger, and you saw the way he muscle jacked Ella Madalena around. I assume he can do the same same thing to Ian Gary. I don't think anyone's going to get finished. Ian Gary's jiu-jitsu is good enough to fend off submissions, but I do see Islam winning a competitive but comfortable decision. Also, one thing I want to mention, if Ian Gary spams kicks, Islam's going to catch one of them eventually. He will catch one of them, and it will be his biggest strength and weakness. It will be the downfall of him if he does want to get aggressive with those kicks. I think Islam is smart enough to catch one of the kicks and turn that into a takedown, get Ian Gary off balance. So yeah, another reason why I think Islam will win. Next matchup, Michael Morales. See, here's the thing about Michael Morales. He has the most knockout power between the three guys I'm going to talk about, which is why everybody wants to see this matchup next. They don't think Ian Gary should get it because nobody likes him. And they don't think Kamaru Usman should get it because he doesn't deserve it. Now, this is all reasonable and fair, you know, but I don't know, man. Michael Morales is a very tricky customer for Islam Makhachev. If you watched his last fight against Sean Brady, he made a slight adjustment to his game, which could cause issues. He was lower in his stance, which is a clear sign that he's been working on his grappling and he does not want to get taken down. Do you think that he's worried about Sean Brady's power on the feet? No, all he's worried about is his grappling, and he knew as soon as he struck the takedowns off, it was game over. I think he's gonna have the same approach with Islam. I don't think he's gonna respect his striking enough, which is going to be his issue. Islam has great distance management. He's good against orthodox fighters. Like I said, conditioning fighters for the body kick, eventually landing up high. I don't think it'll be as effective against Michael Morales because how effective is he going to be throwing body kicks when he's on the back foot, constantly circling the cage when Michael Morales is walking him down? Which is why I don't know if this is going to be his next matchup. I think he might go the Ian Gary route or the Kamaru Usman route, only because they're safer. He's going to need a little bit more time for Michael Morales. And if it is Michael Morales, I'll be very shocked, which is why he's taking it in August, because yeah, for someone like him, he needs a game plan. I can see him taking the Jack Della Maddalena route, blasting the leg early to slow down his movement, to slow down his power, but finding a takedown on him is going to be difficult. He's going to have to get in close, use the clinch, you know, get him on the cage, and then use trips from there. Against Neil Magny, it was effective for a little bit. Neil Magny held him against the cage, but Islam's technique is different. If he gets Michael Morales backed up against the cage, I can definitely see a world where he could trip him and control him and win the fight, but it's not going to be easy. It's not going to be easy. Because like I said, Michael Morales has that X factor, and if he comes in thinking you're not taking me down, it's going to be a long night. Kamaru Usman. Now, when you hear this name, you automatically think, nah, he doesn't deserve it. People just write him off. But hear me out though. Kamaru Usman is a former champion, long reigning champion, and he has a win. So the reason for him fighting is there. He has a win that he can use to back his claim. Although it's Joaquin Buckley and he's number 8 in the rankings, he has a win, and stylistically, he poses an interesting matchup. It's a mirror matchup in a way. In a sense, it's a mirror matchup. Both predominant wrestlers, both very strong, both excel in their areas, but the key difference is Kamaru Usman is 38 years old, gonna be 39, and you can see a clear sign of decline. In his last fight against Joaquin Buckley, he was not willing to throw down with that young and hungry competitor. For obvious reason, Joaquin Buckley has nukes in his hands, and if you're winging hooks, nobody wants to throw down with that guy. Islam is different on the other hand. His power at 170 is still in question. Does he have enough power to knock someone out? I don't know. In the hands, I don't know. He knocked down Charles Oliveira, cool. He had some decent boxing exchanges with Dustin Poirier, cool. Even with Volk, that's lighter man skill. So he will be the faster man in this fight. And again, he can condition the kicks. Leon Edwards was a good example. Condition the kicks low and then eventually go high. Usman might see it coming, but it's still something to worry about. Strength-wise, I think they're pretty even. But again, I can see Islam cruising. I wouldn't say cruising to a decision. This is going to be competitive because it's going to stay on the feet for the majority of the time. But Islam is not going to knock him out. I don't think he's going to knock him out, which is why I can see it being being very, very competitive. Like, it's a very intriguing matchup, man. What Kamaru Usman are we gonna see? He is declining, and his striking output against Joaquin Buckley was bad. But if he gets a title shot, who knows what we're gonna see out there? Who knows what we're gonna see out there? So I still see Islam winning, just with the kickboxing advantage. Islam striking is not to be messed with. That's one thing that people have to get clear. I can still see Islam winning, but hey, you never know, man. So yeah, those are the three matchups. Jack versus Carlos Prates. Like I said, if someone gets a fast knockout, I can see them leapfrogging all three of these guys. But that's highly unlikely, like I said before. But yeah, anyway, I'm out of here.